Good afternoon, everyone. Before we begin, the bride and groom asked me to say a few words. And that was them. No, I'm just kidding. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Father Wesley, and I'm the brother of the groom, and yes, I am an official ordained minister. On behalf of the bride and groom, I'd like to thank you all for being here today. And I do have a couple of announcements before we get started. The bride and groom have requested this be an unplugged ceremony, so please, at this moment, we ask you to honor their wishes and put away all cameras and devices. And while doing so, please make sure your phone is on silent. I don't want to hear any baby got back ringtones in the middle of the ceremony. For those of you that are upset that you will not have a keepsake from today, do not worry. I'll be selling pictures and videos from the ceremony at the reception. Come find me because Father Wesley's got the hookup. Just don't tell Chris and Emily. I'm obviously kidding, but on a serious note, no pictures until the reception. Also, the couple has requested that everyone remain seated for the entirety of the ceremony until they are announced Mr. and Mrs. This does include as the bride walks down the aisle, so unless you have to use the restroom, please keep your tush firmly planted in your seat at all times during the ceremony. And one last thing, the couple has requested that everyone disregard all missteps or flubs during this ceremony. This is, after all, the first time I've officiated a wedding. Let's be honest, I have no idea what I'm doing up here. So if something seems out of the ordinary, or if I forget something, we're just going to roll with it, because all we need are the IDs anyways, right? And that's actually my request, but we're going to pretend like it's theirs. So anyways, now that part's done, let's get this thing started. Now, if there's anyone here who has just cause today of why this couple should not be united, please leave now and forever hold your peace. All right, everybody. We're here. About 45 more minutes and they'll be locked in. Just kidding, Emily. I know you're probably hungry and ready for a nap. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today to bear witness and celebrate the joining of Chris and Emily in marriage. Marriage is a wonderful thing, or at least that's what my wife tells me. It's a thing not many of us knew was possible for Chris. I mean, I grew up with him. I know he already is to live with. It's a thing where two people love each other so much they can't live without one another. Something where two people decide they want to grow old together and joke as each one gets a new wrinkle and laugh together as their filter starts to drift with old age. It's about waking up in the morning and feeling truly happy. Marriage is about choosing one person out of billions to be your sweet boo thing for the rest of your lives. It really sounds crazy when you say it out loud. The rest of your lives. But it's not crazy. Eating ketchup sandwiches is crazy. It just sounds crazy. It just sounds crazy because it's hard to imagine you found someone so perfect that you're willing to trust them with having your heart. Someone that gets you so much that they know what you're going to say before you even say it. Someone that every time you think of them, it makes you smile. Someone that is full of imperfections, but you only see what's perfect. Someone that you want to slap one second, but the next you want to hop on a bird scooter and sail off into the sunset. That's not crazy. That's love. And you guys get to have that for the rest of your lives. They say that opposites attract, but that couldn't be any further from the truth with these two. In fact, we say it all the time. Emily is the girl version of Chris. They are in the same line of work. They are both as stubborn as can be. They love being around family, love animals, and they both really, really love to nap. In fact, just how much they are alike comes through a little in their rather unique story of how they came to be, which I'm going to tell you next. Just keep in mind, this story is solely told from Emily's perspective. Because if I would have asked Chris about the story, it would have went something along the lines of, I don't know, man. I saw her. I liked her. I spit game. And now we're getting married. Needless to say, Chris is a man of few words. So here it is, the story of how Chris and Emily came to be, told through the eyes of Emily, and a couple small gaps filled in by me. It was just another day on the job when Emily was getting ready to go on break when she noticed a small glimmer of light out of the corner of her eye. As she turned to see what it was, the glimmer came again. She noticed it had come from a small man, almost childlike, but with a beard and maybe some small muscles. He had just taken a drink from his water jug, but then with it still tilted up, pulled it away from his face, pouring it all over his head and body. Come on, guys. Much like that of a movie, time seemed to slow down around him as he shook his head, causing the water to trickle down his face and glimmer in the light as it worked its way through his beard. This must be the one they call Mighty Mouse, she thought to herself. And she must go talk to him. But with Emily's hard work ethic, she decided to finish one last weld before she went on break and went to go talk to him. But unfortunately for Emily, when she finished her weld, this small man-child was nowhere to be found. Emily was devastated, but she was also hopeful that she would see him again one day. But unfortunately, it would take almost 3 years for destiny to strike again. Emily had lost almost all hope of ever meeting this Mighty Mouse. Are we trying to read ahead? And after 2 years, she had even resorted to Facebook friending him, which didn't do much for her except for finding out he had a dog. But exactly 1 year from their friend anniversary, according to Facebook, that day would finally come. And oh, what a day it was. Once again, Emily was working hard when she looked up and spotted what looked to be Chris, reaching for a hammer that someone had put on the top shelf. With no bucket anywhere in sight for Chris to stand on, Emily knew he may never get this hammer. So this was her chance. Emily could easily reach that hammer, and she knew this couldn't be just a coincidence. It was meant to be. So with only slight hesitation, Emily decided to strike. Emily walked over, reached up, and grabbed the hammer. And as she brought the hammer down, Chris and Emily would lock eyes. With this, Emily now became extremely nervous and flustered, and she knew that she could not let this opportunity pass her by. But she was frozen. What could she do? So, after a very long, awkward silence, Chris asks, in his normal Chris way, "What are you doing?" Which, if you've ever received a phone call from Chris, you know it's just his way of saying hello. To which Emily blurts out, "I like dogs." Chris must have found this response strange, and with an awkward stare, he responds with, "I like dogs too." Emily was in shock. She was so embarrassed. After 3 years, this is the best she could think of. She had to think of something good, something fast, or else her chances with this stud, her words, not mine, would be gone forever. So Emily musters up the courage and says, "I also like naps." To which Chris immediately asks her out, because as Chris would say, naps are crucial, and it's been happily ever after ever since. You like that? Now we've come to the part of the ceremony where we would normally have the vows. And as an alternative, I thought it'd be a wonderful thing for each of them to tell each other how they are feeling in this exact moment and what they see for their future. With this moment, they can mark today as the beginning of their journey to having a marriage full of openness and affection. Chris, I will start with you. Please tell Emily how you're feeling today and how excited you are for your future together. I'm just kidding. But on a serious note, this first part is for you. You, Chris, take Emily to be your wife, to have and to hold, from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish. Even when she pauses the movie to talk on the phone, when she doesn't know what movie we just quoted, when she is hungry even though she just ate 45 minutes ago, when she puts the cereal on the top shelf, and when she farts in her sleep as long as you both shall live. Do you, Emily, take Chris to be your husband, to have and to hold, from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, even when he looks homeless because he won't trim his beard, and when he starts nap time without you, when he just drained all the hot water because he took a nap in the shower, when he has the TV turned up all the way and says he still can't hear it, and when he finally starts to lose his hair, as long as your blood shall live. All right, have the rings. Look at these rings. Aren't they so neat? Wouldn't you say their collection's complete? Sorry, I've got a toddler. I watch a lot of Disney movies lately. Chris, take this ring and place it on Emily's finger and repeat after me. With this ring, I thee wed. I give you this ring. Look at her, not me. Making it awkward. As a symbol of my love, before I let you go, according to the internet, this is the part where I'm supposed to give you guys some marriage advice. I've been racking my brain trying to make sure I give you guys the good stuff. Because let's face it, Chris, this is your one and only shot. So this is what I've come up with. And listen close, guys. This may be the best marriage advice you ever get. Be patient with one another. Put the toilet seat down. Don't sweat the small stuff. Never eat the last slice of pizza. Love each other as you are, not as you wish the other to be. No, her butt does not look big in those jeans. Always kiss goodnight. Always compliment her cooking. This takeout may not deliver tomorrow. Always hold her hand. If you don't, she might go shopping. And don't wake up grouchy. Let him sleep. And finally, Chris, listen to this very closely. If you remember nothing else from today, remember these next 6 words. You're right. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. So finally, everyone, stand with me now. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to present to you for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Davis.